I just had to make a video. I saw a title of a video from David Burns' YouTube channel. These guys are such jokes. How many times should you inspect a honeybee hive? Well, it depends on how good you are at inspecting a hive. I could open up a hive and check it every day, and if I'm careful and I know what I'm doing, most of the time during the afternoon, the bees don't even care. I'm not even using smoke. It depends on what time of the day, how gentle you are. And then the other thing, see these here? I happen to be out here during this, between 4 and 6 o'clock, I make my rounds. I go through and I check. And I saw this hive here, there's a cluster of bees on a virgin queen. She'd been out on a mating flight. She doesn't belong here. So I thought, okay, I'll just make sure she doesn't get killed. So I got her in my hand, and she flew out, which is good. She got away. So then I come back a few minutes later, and you can hear her flying around. And she went to that hive, and she made it in. Okay, and there's certain situations when you have a virgin queen in a hive that is between the period of 3 days after she emerges all the way to 8. Don't open the hive in the afternoon. You can do it early in the morning. That's the other thing, David Burns. It matters. It depends on what time of day you open the hive. Okay? It doesn't matter how many times you open the hive. It's when you do it, how you do it. That's all that matters. And a lot of these hives here, I have over 250 colonies. I don't have time to check them all the time. Okay, I go through and I check. Are there bees going in and out? It looks like a large number of bees. They look like they're fine. I'll leave it alone. If I start noticing a drop in the number of bees, they have an issue. Yeah. Okay, but when you have this many colonies, you just don't have time. And if I lose one colony out of 250 plus, oh well, okay? So if you guys want to follow stupid people like David Burns, how many times should you inspect a hive? Well, there's a lot of things. The biggest issue is how good are you at inspecting a hive? Are you going to hurt the queen? If you're not good at it, maybe you shouldn't do it, because there's a good chance you're going to kill that queen, and if you don't know it, they're going to end up with the queen cells later. If you do know it, and then you could break the hive down. If it's the right time of year, you can get new queens. And the other thing is, people talk about swarms, okay? I split my colonies so many times, and then after I split them, I'll take a frame out once in a while. I go through and I do, one frame here, and then the next time I need a frame, I'll go there. And I'm going all the way around to all these large hives, and I don't keep going here and here and here. So that slows them down a little bit too. And then when I'm all done with my mating nukes, end of July, they have August and September that they can build up. So I'm not worried about swarms. That's another thing I laugh at you guys. All right, and if your bees are bearding on the front of the hive, and there's all kinds of bees on the front of your hive, well, you're probably going to have a swarm, okay? It's just common sense. Okay, so go ahead, follow people like David Burns at Vino Farm. Do they ever talk about the toxic chemicals? I never see a title on YouTube about toxic chemicals. I do YouTube searches and nobody talks about it. That's the biggest issue with the honeybees. I know I've had a crop farmer kill my honeybees a few years ago, and the state of Michigan told me, confirmed, yes, his chemicals killed your bees. But you know what? He did nothing wrong, okay? He was out planting corn on a windy day, and it blew right into my beehives. And they tried to tell me, the state of Michigan tried to tell me my bees went over there and picked up the chemicals. Bullshit. Your government lies to you. Your government is not your friend. Your government is the evil empire that's destroying your life and many lives around the world, all right? So go ahead, follow David Burns. They're going to talk about inspecting a hive. Or Vino Farm is going to talk about a bee barn. Go ahead, follow those guys. Do they ever talk about the toxic chemicals that are killing your bees? They bring it into the hive all summer long. It's in the wax, the pollen, and the honey. And during the winter, that cluster of bees because that queen is not laying anymore. She has so many bees going into winter. That's how many bees she's going to have at the end of winter before, when she starts laying again. That cluster gets small. And as that cluster gets small, there's a good chance they're going to get chilled. They're going to die. And insulating a hive is not going to have any effect on them because, say for instance, this house here. I got good insulation. If I have a broken furnace that's not creating enough heat, is it going to heat my house? Hell no. It's the same thing with the beehive. Go ahead, insulate it. If your cluster gets too small, they're still going to get cold and die. You guys are a bunch of stupid idiots. You're following people that aren't helping you at all. Just corporate sponsored beekeepers is all they are. They're making money advertising because they get a lot of views. They have a lot of subscribers, but they're not really helping the honeybees. They're helping their bank account. That's all they're helping, okay? All right? I just get so frustrated with these videos on YouTube. I don't watch them. I just see the titles, and that's enough. I don't want to watch the stupid thing.